How are you guys? Inshallah, today we are going to talk about a major system that exists in our bodies, which is called digestive system. To talk about the digestive system, we must know that the digestive system it's mainly two parts with two operations. It's something called alimentary canal or the digestive canal. The digestive canal it starts from mouth till anus. Why why it's called alimentary canal or digestive canal? It's called canal because it's a connected line. It starts from here and finish through all of that and finish there. So it's a connected line. Because of that, it's called a tube or canal. So it's called canal because it just connected path at which the food passes from the mouth till anus. Okay, because of that, it's called alimentary canal. The alimentary canal, it is a major part of your digestive system. It is a part at which the food passes till you get all of benefits from the food and remove the waste products out. But the alimentary canal, it's not the only part that digest food. The part that help in digestion, it's called alimentary canal associated glands. The associated glands, they are helper. They are glands that help in digestion. We will cover all of that, inshallah, during the part of the digestive system. So the digestive system, it's mainly two parts, alimentary canal, at which the food passes from mouth till anus. It's called canal because it's connected tube from the first part till the last part without anything interpute this tube. So it's just connected canal. Okay. We have some things help in digestion. Inshallah, we will cover them during the explanation of this part. It's called digestive because it digests food. So the digestive system, it's called digestive because it digests food. What is the digestion? The digestion, when you eat your food, this food can never ever can passes to your cells, to your body cells. Whatever the size of the food, it's really larger than the size of the cell. Because of that, our God prepares our digestive system to divide these large particles of food, like the piece of bread, rice, pasta, all of the food that you eat, meat, chicken, all of that, they are really large particles. These large particles, our gut prepare the digestive system to cut it down into small particles that can passes to your body cells. But some of these particles like fats, oil, some kinds of meat, they can't passes to the cells except when they dissolve in water. So they must be soluble in water. So the digestive system mainly, it is the main system that prepare the food to passes to the body cells. How the digestive system do that? It makes something called digestion. What is the digestion? The digestive system break down the food into very small particles and can dissolve in water. So it can passes with the water to the cells to get the energy from this food. So the digestive system, it is a system that help you to get the energy from your food. How that? By dividing the digestion process. It's a dividing the food into very small particles and to be soluble in water to passes to the body cells. So as we said, the digestive system, it's mainly digest the food. What is the digestion? Or how the digestive system digest the food, as we said, or what is the digestion? It is a breaking down of food, whatever the type of food. We divide it from large particles into very small particles. From being insoluble, insoluble means that it can't dissolve in water, like the oil or the fats that exist in our food. The digestion means that these insoluble materials, they turn into soluble, so they can dissolve in water. Till now, this is the first operation of the digestive system. The second operation of the digestive system, when the digestive system digests the food, so now it's ready to be absorbed. So the first step, so the digestive system, as we just said, it has two operations. It digests the food, break, break down the food into very small particles and to be soluble in water, as we said. Then the digestive system absorbs this food to distribute it to all of your body. So without the digestive system, the food that you eat never reach to your body cells. Okay, so the system that digests the food, prepare the food to be absorbed and distributed to all of the body to get the energy from this food, it is the digestive system. What are the parts of this digestive system? As we said, we have connected line which start with mouth and end with anus, and this one called the alimentary canal or the digestive canal. And there are some glands or some parts of the digestive system, addition parts, some parts we added, our gut add it to the alimentary canal or to the digestive canal to help in digestion. They secrete some materials to help in digestion. When you just, let's start the story. So this is the story. When you just eat your food, the first part of your digestive system, it is your mouth. When the food enters to your mouth, so the first thing that take place in your mouth, that the mouth start to make the first operation of digestion. It start to break the large particles of the food into small particles by using the teeth, the sharp things that exist in your mouth. Then our gut puts something called salivary glands. This is the first associated part to the digestive system. As we said, we have mainly alimentary canal or digestive canal and associated glands, something to help in digestion with the alimentary canal or with the digestive canal. So the first associated, the first helper that exists in your mouth, it's called salivary glands. Any glands secrete materials to help in digestion. So now the salivary glands secrete something called saliva. The saliva, they are secretions from salivary glands that secrete in the mouth to digest starch into sugar. So the first part of your food, the first part of your food that start digest or that the digestion take place with that, it is the starch that exists or that enter your mouth. So the first part of the food that digest, it is a starch. It digests in your mouth. It digests in your mouth by the effect of saliva. The saliva secreted by the salivary glands. The salivary glands, they are helpers. They help the digestive system to digest the food. So now again, the first part of your digestive system, it is the mouth. The mouth contains sharp substance, sharp materials, they called teeth. The teeth, they are the materials that cut down the food into very small particles. and mix it with secretions called saliva. The saliva, it's secreted from salivary glands. The saliva, it's digest the starch into sugar. So the first part of your food that digest it is the starch in your mouth. Then now the rest of the food it just pushed down through the pharynx into the esophagus. The pharynx is the common cavity. It's linked between the digestive system and the respiratory system. So it's called a common cavity. Common cavity means that this cavity, it's not only for the digestive system, it related to the respiratory system. So now the food just passes through the pharynx and esophagus to reach to the stomach. The stomach itself is just a muscular sac. It's a sac made up of muscles. It's a sac that made up of muscles. This sac just contract and relax to, to, to push or to crash the food and mix it with the secretion of the stomach, which is called gastric juice. The gastric juice, they are the juices or the secretions of the stomach that digest the protein. So now this is the second section of food that start to digest. The first part, it is the starch that digests in the mouth. The second part, it's a protein that start the digestion in the stomach. But the stomach can't finish the digestion of protein. It just divided the protein. It's very large particles. The stomach divided into half particles of protein. So it's called incomplete digestion of protein. So the protein or the stomach can't digest the protein totally. It just cross the middle of the road, just divided from very large particles into medium particles. So it didn't finish the protein. It just start to digest it. So the product of the food from your stomach, it's incomplete digestion of protein. So the protein just enter the digestion. So again, your digestive system, it is a system that divide the food into very small particles and soluble substance. This is the first operation. The second operation, the digestive system absorbs this food to distribute it to all of your body to get the energy from it. The digestive system, it consists of what? Digestive canal and associated glands or helpers or the glands that help in digestion. The first part of your digestive system, it is the mouth that cut down the food into small particles and mix it with saliva that's secreted by salivary glands, which digest the starch into sugar. Then the food passes through a common cavity, which is called pharynx, which is linked between the digestive system and respiratory system. Then the food passes through the esophagus, which is just a tube that link the food or link the mouth to the stomach and make the food passes from the mouth to the stomach. When the food enter to the stomach, so the starch, it's already digested in the mouth. Then the stomach secretes something called gastric juice. This gastric juice, it digests protein. But as we said, the protein, it's a very large particles digested in the middle way or in between the final way. So it didn't totally digest. It just digest partially digestion. So it forms something called incomplete digestion of protein. So this is the product. Then the food passes from the stomach to the first part of the small intestine. The digestive system itself, its mouth, pharynx, esophagus, then the stomach, then a small intestine, then large intestine, then rectum, and anus. So these parts they call the digestive canal. So the digestive canal, mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. And we have three associated glands, three helpers. The first one is the salivary glands that exist in the mouth. The second one, it is the liver. The third one, it's the pancreas. So these glands, they are the glands or helper which help the digestive system to digest the food. Okay, guys, the small intestine, it's very important part. The small intestine itself, there are two parts. The first part of the small intestine, it's called duodenum. So the first part, this is the first part of the small intestine, behind the large intestine here. This part, it's called duodenum. It's called duodenum. The duodenum, we have three things open in the duodenum. The first one, link from the liver. The second one, link from the pancreas, the yellowish part that exists here. The third one, it is the entrance or the external part or the end of the stomach. So this one, it is the small intestine. We have three things open in the small intestine. The secretion of the stomach, which is called bile juice. This bile juice, they are secretions secreted by the liver and saved in something called gallbladder. This gallbladder, they just save the bile, then secrete it in the duodenum. And the pancreas secretes something called pancreatic juice. It's secreted too in the duodenum over the food that passes from the stomach to the duodenum. Okay, this or the secretions of the liver, it digests the fats into something called fatty emulsion. So the fatty emulsion, it is the fats by the effect of bile. So the bile effect on fats to digest it into fatty emulsion. Okay, guys. Okay. While the pancreatic juice or the pancreas, the yellowish part here, it secretes something called pancreatic juice. The pancreatic juice, it helps in digestion too. Okay. So the first part of the small intestine, it's very important part because this part, it finish the digestion of fats, it finish the digestion of protein, and it finish any remains of starch, any part of the starch that didn't digest in your mouth. By the way, this is the salivary glands that secrete saliva. The saliva, which secrete, which digest starch into sugar. Okay, guys. Then the esophagus, which just a tube, passes the food to the stomach. The stomach, it secretes something called gastric juice. The gastric juice, which digests the protein into, as we said, incomplete digestion of proteins. So it's called partially digestion of protein. Then the food passes to the first part of the small intestine, the first part of the small intestine, which is called duodenum. Duodenum. The duodenum, it is the first part of the small intestine. It has three major secretions that secrete in this part. The secretions of the liver, which is called bile. The secretions of pancreas, which is called pancreatic juice, and the secretions of the duodenum itself, okay, plus the food that passes from the stomach to the duodenum. So the duodenum, the liver, digests fats into fatty emulsion. The secretions of pancreas complete the digestion of fats, complete the digestion of protein, and complete the digestion of starch. Okay, so all of the digestion finished in the part of duodenum. Then the food began to pass into the rest of the small intestine. Why? Because the rest of the small intestine, it just absorbs or make absorption to all of the digested food. So all of the absorption take place in the rest of the small intestine. Okay, so now we finish the two operations of the digestive system. Which are the digestion and the absorption. The digestion, it takes place in the mouth, in the stomach, in the small intestine. Okay, the absorption takes place in the rest of the small intestine. Okay, so now we have the rest of the digestive system, which is called long or large intestine. The large intestine, it just store the wastes. Just store the wastes till we get rid of it out of the body through the anus. But the food passes through something called rectum. The rectum, it is a part that absorbs any extra water needs by the body. So maybe the body, the water passes with the food till here. Maybe the body, and always the body, needs this water. The one that absorbs this water, it is the rectum, to return it back to your body to use it again in digestion. While the waste products, it passes out. It passes out through the anus. So, summary for all of that, as we said, we have to study the part of the digestive system. The digestive system, it's mainly digestion and absorption. Digestion means that we break down, or our body breaks down the food from large particles into small particles, because the food that you eat, it can't never ever passes to your body cells. So we break it down into very small parts to help it to be absorbed by the body. Then the absorption means that the body collects these digested parts into your body, into your bloodstream, to distribute it around your body. The digestion takes place by or inside your digestive canal, which start with the mouth, and end with the anus. And there are helpers that help the digestive canal to digest the food. These helpers, we have three helpers, which salivary glands, which secrete saliva, liver, which secrete bile, and the pancreas, which secrete pancreatic juice. Saliva digests the starch into sugar in the mouth, while the mouth itself, it has something sharp called teeth, which divide the food into very small particles. Then the food passes through the esophagus, pharynx at the beginning, then the esophagus. Pharynx is a common cavity between the respiratory system and the digestive system. Then the esophagus, which is just a tube, which help the food to passes from mouth to stomach. The stomach is a muscular sac which just contract and relax and secrete something called gastric juice. This gastric juice, it divide or digest the protein into incomplete digestion of protein. So it's intermediate form of protein, which is passes to the first part of the small intestine, which is called the duodenum. The duodenum is very important section in your digestive system. We have three secretions in the duodenum, which finish the digestion. The liver, which secrete bile, which digests the fats into fatty emulsion. The pancreas, which secrete pancreatic juice, which complete the digestion of fats, complete the digestion of starch, and complete the digestion of protein. So now the food, it's ready to be absorbed through the rest of the small intestine. The rest of the small intestine absorb the digested food. Then the waste products passes through the large intestine to reach to the rectum, which reabsorb the extra water and return it back to your body, and the waste products passes out through your anus. Okay, guys, I hope that all of this explanation, it helped you to recognize and understand the importance of your digestive system. Okay, bye till now. Goodbye, guys.